and welcome back to the monthly marble race. It's day 2 of the semifinals, and I'm your master of ceremonies, Rusty Undercarriage. Our 4 racing teams, Team Wipe, Team Ojo Dojo, Team Karma Jolt, and the Side Order are all looking to have their racers advance, but only 2 will move on. We have 2 series of 3 heats each, and the winner of each series goes on to the finals. This is how it works. You get 5 points for first, 3 points for second, 2 for third, 1 for fourth, and you guessed it, a big goose egg 0 if you don't finish. 8 racers all want that $150 Canadian grand prize, but at the end, only 1 will claim it. Who will be cast into the dungeon of defeat, and who will move into the penthouse of victory? To find out, let's go over to the man at the marble top who will never ever stop. Odinson and Glyphracker!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to day 4 of the monthly marble race. This is the second day of semi-final action. I am Glyphracker.
I am Odinson, and welcome aboard to what's sure to be a fantastic day of racing. I can't wait. But before we get too far into it, I just want to remind everybody to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, because hey, here at Side Order, you will always have a seat at the table, so pull up a chair and join us.
We are down to 8 more racers moving on or 8 racers moving towards getting the 2 last places for our finalists. Here today we have Lexi Wolf, Orange Stang, Mr. Smith, Stan, and Enigma, Falcon Fan 73, YY, and Karma Jolt, all fighting for this last 2 spots in our finalists, and the final step towards that $150 Canadian.
That's right, I'm sure all the racers are raring to go, as are we. It comes down to this today. We will get our last 2 finalists, and they will move and join the other 2, and we will have our final 4. So make sure you come on back tomorrow for the absolute final to find out who does win that $150 Canadian grand prize. The racers have fought hard to get here, and here they are, ready to go. And here is a little recap of the semi-final action.
Now we're just moments away from entering the track and seeing who our first racers are, which are Lexi Wolf, Orange Stang, Mr. Smith, and Stan.
So now it looks like we're going back down to the track to get ready for the first heat. Here they are lined up in the blocks, the lights are going off, and here we go with the first race of the second day of the semifinals.
And they are off with it looking like Mr. Smith pulling into the first. Nope, Stan pulling into the first.
Or maybe Mr. Smith is taking first. We've got a close race right here at the beginning.
Right off the hop, they are all really clustered well together, but it seems like Mr. Smith has that clear line.
Mr. Smith gaining a nice little bit of a lead here. We'll see how long he can maintain that. As with all the marble races, an early lead often doesn't mean a lot.
That is very correct.
It certainly can't hurt, but it far from guarantees you a win.
As they're heading towards the separator, Mr. Smith takes the short way.
Of course, as long as you finish here today on these courses, you could get somewhere. The important thing is just to score some points. This is, after all, a multi-heat race, and it looks like Mr. Smith got a serious slowdown there, and that might cost him.
As Stan jumps through into the stairs of greatness.
And he is, of course, now taking the lead as Mr. Smith came into that last section really slow, and that cost him.
As Mr. Smith and Lexi turn around and jump onto the stairwell.
I have no idea what's happened to Orange Stang. He's either there he is. He's definitely still in the race, but looking like he's holding up a distant 4th at the moment.
Down, but not out. Down, but not out, that's for sure. As Lexi Wolf and Stan are now fighting to try and find that perfect line in, I'm pretty sure actually Mr. Smith snuck in.
Wow, look at that. Without anybody even really noticing, Mr. Smith gets in there and Lexi Wolf passes him in the beehive.
No time to play around with those bees. We've got a race to win, Lexi Wolf says. Got hung up in the spinners there.
Got hung up in the fans a little bit. Does a little bobble coming down the ramp, slowing her down quite a bit. But still holding on to that lead for the moment at least.
Mr. Smith is, going the wrong way. That's what I thought. I wasn't 100% sure. But yeah.
Couldn't quite tell there. Mr. Smith was going the wrong way. Orange Stang hit him, sent him on the right path, and took most of the momentum from both of them. Not sure where Stan is. He was doing pretty well in the race, but has now faded off into fourth. We haven't seen him in quite a while.
There he is.
There he is. He's still in it, but he is indeed a little bit behind. Lexi Wolf coming through the gears and the rocks quite smoothly.
Yes. I don't think she touched any of them. As Mr. Smith gets hung up on some barrels. Everyone's closely behind, giving Lexi Wolf no room to breathe. One mistake is all it will take, and somebody could take that place from her.
Somebody could, and it depends how fast they can get down here into the bowl. And see, there it is. She hit that ramp, and that's what you need to do to deflect yourself right into the hole.
Gotta hit that ramp, and also try and get that quicker side. Ooh.
Not only did she hit the quicker side, but she hit it pretty smooth. Took a bad bounce coming out of it, but that had nothing to do with the ramp. She actually came out of that short side ramp about as smoothly as we've ever seen anybody come out of it. Usually they lose all their momentum coming in.
Lexi is now up over the hill.
Ooh, taking a little backwards detour there. That is not the direction you're wanting to go.
That is giving people like Mr. Smith and Orange Stang some time to catch up. There we go. Lexi figured it out.
Lexi gets it together. It looks like she's going to take this first race of the day.
That's 5 points to Lexi Wolf.
And it looks like Mr. Smith is going to get himself 3 points.
Nice point. 3 points for Mr. Smith. Orange Stang bouncing around, and
Orange Stang looking like he's set up to get himself 2. And we're not sure where Stan is. Oh, there he is. And he's going to, of course, get himself 1 point. But hey, finishing the race is the important thing here. He's gotten himself on the board, and that's what counts.
I also want to point out that was the first race I'm pretty sure everyone crossed.
That is the first race of this series this month that everyone actually finished. This track is truly treacherous.
There you have the points, though.
There are your Heat 1 results. Lexi Wolf with a resounding win on that one.
But with no time to be wasted, let's move on to the second heat.
Well, the marbles have moved back down to the beginning of the track, and so have we, and here we go for the second heat of the day.
And they are off.
Lexi Wolf looking to get herself a second victory, everyone else looking to stop her and get those points for themselves.
Got a little bit caught up fighting each other on the Rainbow Road.
And Lexi Wolf taking that early lead. Stan right there behind her.
Giving no room for mistakes. No breathing room whatsoever for Lexi Wolf.
Well, there's no time for mistakes out here. There's racing to be done, and if you make a mistake, it can cost you your lead or even your ability to finish the track. So it is important to stay fast, stay clean, and stay sharp out there on the track.
That is correct. Ooh, speaking of staying sharp, Lexi Wolf ended up catching a corner and slowing down, taking the long way, giving Orange Stang a chance to get into first.
Orange Stang and Stan with a beautiful pass there.
Now the fight for first continues on with Orange Stang and Stan. Stan ends up taking that jump though and puts himself.
Stan is now off into first place.
As you see him in the void.
Yes, he's in the void, but he's on the highest stair and looks like by a couple of stairs. That's going to let him open up a significant lead, especially if he can hit that red turtle shell race.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Looks like Mr. Smith just bailed.
Wow, I don't know what happened there. Mr. Smith just shot sideways right off the track and into no man's land. That looks like that's going to end this heat for him.
Still not over completely for Mr. Smith, though. Just your chances have dwindled.
That's over in this particular heat, but there's still one more race to go. Stan coming through that first worst swirler about as smooth as you'd like. Getting caught up a little here in the beehive, though.
Hanging out with the bees. It almost went down the hole. Gives Orange Stang a little nudge.
Oh, they both go down the hole at almost the same time. Neck and neck now, Orange Stang and Mr. Smith here through the glass tubing.
Weave one through. Jumps the... Wow, nice jump.
He makes that beautiful jump. Oh, no.
But that was a successful move. Luckily the portal was there to catch him. Will Stan try the same? No, Stan's not going to try the same. It is a very risky maneuver. If you go overshot by just a couple inches, you fall to the ground.
Yeah, it's a risky move to take, but it can pay off if you can pull it off. I think Orange Stang is the first person to successfully pull that maneuver off here in the race or this month, rather.
There's Mr. Smith sitting outside. Orange Stang has now entered the roadway or broken tunnel.
The gears and the rocks, and goes through them fairly smoothly. A little bit of a bobble. We'll see if Stan can take advantage of that and catch up a little.
I also haven't seen Lexi Wolf in a little bit. Hanging out in third, there she is on the stairs.
Lexi Wolf is on the stairs, and looks like they have got caught on the stairs and stalled out.
That would be a DNF.
That is rough after taking first in the last one. So this race looks like it's now between Orange Stang and Stan. And Orange Stang has got himself a pretty good lead here right now.
Yeah, just a monstrous lead.
He is really going to have to make a serious mistake for Stan to catch him on this one.
He did take the longer side. Yet again, though, you have mentioned you do maintain more speed on this side.
Yes, but as we have determined by watching, you do get a better edge by taking the shorter side.
As they head into, or Orange Stang heads into the mud pit. Slowing down quite a bit.
Yeah, he did not like the mud and had a very hard time getting through there. The mushrooms are catching him up a little. Hopefully he can get out of this before Stan catches him and passes him.
It looks like he's trying his hardest, trying to get around them. There we go. Up and through.
Wow, that was roughly done, but it looks like he is going to take this one. Stan, still on his heels, but far enough away that Orange Stang wins this round.
There's 5 points to Orange Stang.
Ninja shaping up with an interesting round so far. Orange Stang didn't perform particularly fantastically in the last round. I mean, he did get 2 points. But, Stan looks like he may have stalled out there. And that may be the end of that one. It looks like Orange Stang may be the only person to score points on this day, on this race.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, that moves everything forward. There you'll see the points will be totaled and tallied there as we're moving into Heat 3.
Heat 3, and we've got it's shaping up to be a very, very interesting race here. With the point spread out there and the way that most people have pulled a DNF, it's almost anyone's game out there, so we'll see what happens.
Unfortunately, the only way Stan's going to stand a chance is if Lexi Wolf does not finish. And Mr. Smith gets below second.
Yeah, unfortunately, Stan is most likely mathematically out of this. That DNF in the last place finish really hurt him there.
Lexi Wolf is giving all chase, trying to get as many points as she can, maintain that first place, and get herself one step closer to that 150 points. Just like all the other racers wanting.
I think you mean $150.
That's it, yes. Not points. You want the money, not the points.
Yeah, well, teams do want points so they can get themselves an entry in that Creators Cup at the end of the year and maybe win that. But Individual marbles just want, well, they do want points, but more they want to win these races and win that $150.
That sweet, sweet $150 cash. As they head into the stairs of greatness, Stan and Lexi Wolf are side by side, neck and neck. Oh, Mr. Smith jumps in, wants a piece of this action. As they are now hitting up and heading over the escalator or the stairs, Stan has a really nice lead. Lexi Wolf is right on his heels though. Oh, it looked like he was almost going to go down, but turned away from it. Same thing with Lexi Wolf. Mr. Smith has no problem on going down the hole, though.
Mr. Smith gets right down that hole, gets a little shove from Orange Stang, who bounces backwards down the track from the hit. That is unfortunate.
That might be costly, folks. Mr. Smith, though, moving through the fans relatively fine.
Well, Mr. Smith wanted to redeem himself after ringing out in the last round. Performed rather well, or at least, got some points in the first round, and doesn't want to just give it away here, and he's doing quite a good job. Got a pretty good lead.
Rocketing through, stands up behind. Oh, Orange Stang! You just have completed. You jumped out.
Orange Stang goes out of the track and off the ring. They're out of the course. So that is it for them. They are done on this heat. There'll be no points for them on this one.
Mr. Smith, though, totally wanting to take this one home.
He's trying his hardest to get this one knocked out of the park. And so far, he's got a pretty good lead. Stan isn't too far behind, but it's far enough that he can feel pretty comfortable with the lead he has. Lexi Wolf is back there, but she's even further behind.
Just entering the side order back room hallway. Mr. Smith is now dropping down the tube.
And takes a short side. We'll see how much momentum he loses at the bottom. Maybe we won't. Looks like actually quite a lot by how smooth slow he was doing there.
I agree. Pretty much lost it all hitting that pillar. Fortunately, the cameraman is more focused on seeing what Stan and Lexi Wolf are doing.
Mr. Smith looks like he's getting caught up a little bit here in the mushroom forest. That is unfortunate.
Is this going to be the costly? Stan is right there.
Stan's right there. If I were him, I'd be worried a little bit about the mushroom forest. It's been his doom on the last heat, and it doesn't look like anybody's going to catch Mr. Smith, and he's going to win this one.
Congratulations, Mr. Smith, moving forward. Hold up, I'm going to do...
Ooh, Stan looks as though he has stalled out.
I'll stop putting Mr. Smith in right now for winning. But it all can... Yeah, it's going to change right now.
Well, Mr. Smith has 8 points, and if Lexi Wolf can also come in second here, which looks like she will also have 8 points, and we will have to go to a sudden death playoff round between Lexi Wolf, and that is what is going to have to happen. We are going to have a race between Mr. Smith and Lexi Wolf for that finalist spot. Wow, exciting stuff.
Who is going to take that position home and be one step closer to $150 Canadian? We're about to find out here right now between a battle between Lexi Wolf and Mr. Smith.
That's it. It's a 2-on-2 race, just them. To the winner go the spoils. All the victory and that place in the finals. Whoever can run this course the best here. So here we go.
Mr. Smith and Lexi Wolf are literally neck and neck right now.
This is pretty exciting stuff. We very rarely get a playoff like this. In fact, I think this may be only the second one we've ever had.
That is correct. As they're now, Lexi Wolf is now moving into the spike piers, but Mr. Smith is right there.
Yeah, they are neck and neck coming through this. Neither one wants to let the other one have it.
Lexi Wolf takes up the lead for now. But is it enough to maintain and continue on? as Mr. Smith is right on Lexi Wolf's heels.
Yeah, Mr. Smith not letting her get an inch. He even takes the short way so she can't get even further ahead. Yeah, and he is right behind her. Lexi Wolf and Mr. Smith putting on a heck of a race here. Neither one wanting to let the other have anything at all, and they are doing a fantastic job.
As they head into the stairs of greatness, it seems like Lexi Wolf has got a pretty good lead, but all that can change if Mr. Smith gets a decent jump. Tried to make an attempt at it.
Well, Mr. Smith did look as though he skipped a couple of the steps, but in the end, it just didn't seem to be enough to get him caught up to Lexi Wolf, who is probably just about to on the ladder and getting further and further ahead. Of course, we'll have to see how it goes up here with the red turtle shell. This can be very treacherous.
The red shell is not forgiving. We've had a lot of racers spend a fair amount of time hanging out up here. He's got a very small window to get down into the shell as Mr. Smith finds that small window and is now making a very epic lead with this.
Well, he found himself a little window to get through, and he's off into the beehive. He's getting stung quite a bit, though, but does find his way down into the glass tubing through the greenhouse. It's been an interesting race, a little bit of back and forth. Both contestants have led at one point or another.
As they're now heading into the mini beehive spinner where Mr. Smith is not using his time very well and is...
Yeah, Mr. Smith not doing very well there and allowing Lexi Wolf to take the lead again. He really needed to get through there quicker, and the little bit of dallying he seemed to be doing, swirling around there, just really did not help him at all.
Lexi will pass us through the garden gears and into the corn maze. Mr. Smith is right behind, though.
Yeah, once again, Mr. Smith not very far behind. This has been a very closely contested race. Neither one of these racers wants to give an inch to the other, and neither one has. However, there are still some parts of the track which can be very treacherous to get through, and I think more than anything, that's going to be the decider on who wins.
That is it. With only basically the mud pit and the mushroom forest left, which have been our most devastating things towards these racers.
Yeah, they have been very, very harsh on the racers in terms of actually getting through them and the amount of times people have stalled. However, right here we could see a difference in the lead, depending if somebody can clip that ramp and launch themselves down into the hole.
As it looked like Lexi tried it there, didn't quite make the position hit.
Yeah, Mr. Smith hasn't been able to get down there either, but neither has Lexi. However, it looks like Mr. Smith makes the correct line and gets down there and takes the lead again.
However, it does take the longer trail. It's now down to if Lexi Wolf can turn around and take the quick path or followed suit with Mr. Smith, which it looks like followed suit, so now it is literally anyone's game, as these two racers will not give up on each other's tail.
Well, they are neck and neck coming into the final part of the course here, and it is still anyone's game. I think here, who can navigate the mushroom forest the best is going to determine who wins this race by the looks of it.
Mr. Smith
getting a little bit hung up, but looks like he's getting through there first.
Bouncing through, and it does look like he has got this one right in the bag. Lexi Wolf is right behind, though.
Oh, she hits the bad bounce, and that's going to be the end of it to cost her. It looks like Mr. Smith
making that nice line and finally walking his way through to become one of our finalists.
Congratulations, Mr. Smith. You are the third finalist for the monthly marble race, and wow, what an impressive race series that was. Now, a quick word from our sponsors.
Thank you so much for watching the races. I truly appreciate each and every one of you for being here and for taking a part in the races themselves. I am Hojo, by the way, and I don't know about you, but one of my favorite memories from childhood in the 80s and the 90s was listening to old school radio driving down the road with my parents on our long road trips. We would take them from time to time, and then, eventually we got satellite radio, but satellite radio really is not that affordable anymore, and that's why I offer you at my YouTube channel, completely free of charge, classic radio for all. That's right, I've got comedy classics like McGee and Molly or Jack Benny, and I have crime classics like Dragnet and Gangbusters and many, many, many more, and I can guarantee you're going to find something that you never even knew existed. So if you like old school radio, please come and check me out at YouTube. Type in Hojo Dojo or Retro Radio. I promise I'll be there somewhere. And now back to the races.
Thank you very much, Rusty. And with that being said, let's move on to the next round with an Enigma, Falcon Fan, YY, and Karma Jolt himself. This is an all-out Karma battle with Falcon Fan stuck in the middle.
Yeah, it looks that way. He's the only one who's not on Karma Jolt's team here in this last semifinal race. However, Team Wipe hasn't been known to go down easy, and I don't think he will here.
I agree. Team Wipe is known to take a knee, especially in this type of racing events. So with that being said, let's start the race. And they are off. An Enigma with an early lead, but yet again, as everything always dictates, means nothing this early in the race.
Marble's getting physical a little bit there. If you notice, YY hitting an Enigma as they came up over those humps.
Things are getting physical. Yeah, YY is being quite the aggressor out there.
Falcon Fan getting a little shove from YY as well. YY deciding, I guess, he wants that place and is willing to get violent to get it. Well, all right. I like to see it.
Taking a lesson from a sim, I take.
Taking a lesson from a sim who we literally saw hip check somebody off the track on an earlier race. It was an impressive move. However, I guess that didn't help him that much. Well, I guess it did, actually. It did. He is in the final.
As an Enigma is now moving himself, still into first place, almost like uncontested right now, with the Shark YY is floating in behind. Oh, Falcon Fan managed to get a little boost at, I guess.
Well, like I said, I didn't think Team Wipe was going to go down easy here, and certainly they are not. Falcon Fan now taking the lead.
Nice move, and Karma Jolt and YY are stuck in the back. Falcon Fan jumping through, nice.
Wow, Falcon Fan doing it nice and clean here, getting through onto the stairs about as neatly as you could ask for.
Cameraman, thank you. And Enigma now jumps his way in.
And Enigma now on there, but he's so far back that this is going to be a pretty good lead for Falcon Fan, especially if he can get through this red shelter.
That is it, that where most people hang up, as YY and Karma Jolt now jump out into the stairs. Falcon Fan has got a nice clean, it looks smooth, it's in, it's good.
It looks good. Falcon Fan coming down very, very cleanly here. We'll see how he does in the beehive. Yeah, he's getting stung a little, but that is one of the faster times through it we've seen so far, I believe.
That is correct. That's making very short work of even being stung just a couple times, and then down the... Whoa, that's a new move.
Oh, Falcon Fan getting a little bit caught up in the fans.
However, there is tons of room to... Whoa. Going the wrong way.
Wow, that is just a little bit unfortunate there. Getting really caught up in that spinner.
And now a jump. Oh.
That's gonna cause him to stall out on the track. That is truly disappointing after putting forth that kind of race up until this point.
As YY now is turning around and moving forward to first place, utilizing that teleporter, YY is pulling out all the stunts here.
It does look like they are, and Karma Jolt just hit an Enigma and got him moving again. but nobody's gonna help Falcon Fan, and YY is moving so slowly he could be in some serious trouble if somebody doesn't give him a little boost on the way by, and no one does.
No one does. The Team Carmagol waves at each other as they pass by. No love lost here from this team.
No, I think they just flipped him off and honked their horn at him as they flew by. I don't even think they considered stopping, and that looks like that's going to end YY's race for this particular heat. Carmajolt showing his team how it's done out there.
As Carmajolt and Enigma are now in the fight for first place. Carmajolt, the veteran racer, taking and showing the skills of why he is what he is and where he is. Being a wrestler.
Yeah, I don't think he's much of a wrestler.
And Enigma and Carmajolt are both on the ramp. Carmajolt first jumping off and into the water ditch.
I don't know, maybe Carmajolt's secret friends with The Rock or something. You never know, but... There's Enigma and Carmajolt moving around the swirler. There's YY, who are stalled out along with Falcon Fan. They both went down at about the same place. Enigma taking the shortcut.
Is this going to be Enigma's first win? By the looks of it, only having the mud pit and the mushroom forest to go through. Got that very epic big lead ahead. Is it enough to carry on?
Well, he made himself a savvy move in the glass swirler ball there, and that got him enough of a lead that as long as he can get through this mushroom forest, at least somewhat smoothly, this should be fairly smooth sailing for a victory for him. But he is getting hung up in the mushrooms, and that is going to give Carmajolt a little bit of time to catch up. And it looks like it doesn't matter, though.
Ends up figuring his way through. And now if he can get by the garden path here, as Carmajolt is like a shark right behind him. This could be it.
Right behind him, but I think Enigma has, just enough of a lead to cross that finish line first and take that sweet 5 points.
So there you have it.
Carmajolt right behind him, though. Right behind him and scoring himself a good 3.
So there you have it. Enigma with 5, Carmajolt with 3, and the other two happen to get that sweet goose egg. You must finish in order to complete or get points, otherwise...
Rusty Undercarriage says it every time we do point rounds. If you don't finish, you get nothing, and that is exactly what happened in that race. At least to a couple of the racers. But here we are, without any time to waste, going on to the next heat. I'm sure Falcon Fan and YY are looking to perform a little bit better.
I definitely think they are too. As they are off and into Rainbow Road, and Enigma yet again taking that early lead.
Well, now hopefully YY doesn't get pushy this time. I don't necessarily know that paid off for it.
As you just mentioned, being not pushy is paid off as well.
Uh-oh. Ooh.
I might have spoke too soon.
That was a little bit rough, and it allows Enigma to get by. Well, YY was having a little bit of difficulty there. Enigma comes through the castle section pretty smoothly. Could have been, I guess, a little better, but I'll take it.
YY is right on his heels. Falcon Fan and Carmajolt are right behind them as well as they head through the fruit belt. Looks like YY... Oh! Did you see that? Carmajolt just made his own shortcut.
No, I actually failed to catch that. I was watching Falcon Fan having a very, very hard time getting through that swirler.
Carmajolt taking the long path and then jumping over some of the fruit to move towards the swirler.
Well, I'm not surprised by that. He often does invent new ways to race the courses. We've seen it in the past. In fact, on the very first marble race, he was the first person to pull a jump and cut off part of the course. It was pretty amazing. And he's known to do that kind of thing, so none of that surprises me. Of course, he is the first person down the hole and going off to the beehive.
Moving towards the bees.
Ooh, getting a little bit stung, but making it into the greenhouse fairly smoothly.
Falcon Fan looks like he's coming down towards the beehive next. But that doesn't matter as Karmajolt is flying his way down in towards this new section.
Well, now, he made it through the fans there pretty smooth, took the long way there, but ran it nice and smoothly, and that let him come out of there quickly enough that he's still got that significant lead he's been holding for a good portion of the race here.
I do want to mention, though, he hasn't gained any speed, but I also want to say he hasn't lost very much speed, making those precise choices in each of those lanes. Oh, it looks like we have someone that stalled out. I think that was YY.
It is not YY's day out here today. They are having a rough go of it. You hate to see it.
And that would mathematically put YY out of it.
Well, DNFing twice in a 3-rounder, you are definitely eliminated at that point. There's really no coming back from that. Karmajolt, though, pretty much running away with this one. We'll see how he does with the mud pit and the mushroom forest, but so far he's looking pretty untouchable in this heat.
Spinning through the water dish.
Missing the ramp, and that's unfortunate because you really need to hit that. If you can, it can kick you right down the hole.
I think there was a jostle between Falcon Fan and Karma there.
Yeah, Karma seemed to have lost all his momentum, and that actually helped him because it let him sneak down the hole first. He did take the long way, but nobody else is even close to getting down that hole yet, so it's really does not matter.
He's pretty much running the race uncontested as Falcon Fan also drops down and takes the longer way.
Well, you really want to try to take the faster way there, but neither racer did. And Karmajolt comes through that mushroom forest fairly smoothly. It's that first part that can really catch you up, and he came through that about as smooth as you'd like.
Now, can he figure out his line and make his way in to the ramp?
Looks like he's got it right there. Yeah, he does, and that's got that. That's going to be Karmajolt taking a sweet 5 points.
So there you are with Falcon Fan right behind. Is it going to be enough to claim points?
Well, I certainly hope he would not stall out at this point. I mean, we have seen it happen, so I'm not counting anything out. But there it is. Falcon Fan getting himself 3 points. Here comes Enigma. He's going to get himself a sweet 2. We haven't seen much of him this race, but he hung in there and finished it up.
There you go. As everyone managed to get their points. Points are going to be tallied.
Except for YY, unfortunately. And that is going to mathematically put them out of it.
That is very unfortunate, as there you have the points listed right there. And we're moving on to the final heat.
Here it is, the final heat, the final race until tomorrow's finals,
where we will have 4 people racing for that $150 Canadian. We're going to find out now who is our last finalist.
Well, at this point, it's either Enigma or Karmajolt.
Either one of those boys are going to take it home.
Well, as long as they can score some points here, one of them will be looking to move on to the finals.
Great racing from Team Wipe yet again, trying their hardest to try and at least place in something.
Yeah, Team Wipe has been out here 2 months in a row now, and they have shown a lot of heart and a lot of drive to win these races.
I'd also like to point out that they are still, Team Wipe is not down or out. Actually, none of the teams are down and out. As of currently, we have Biscuit from Team Wipe, a Sim from us at
the side order.
Mr. Smith just won the last one, so now it's down to whether Falcon Fan, or actually no, it's Karmajolt or an Enigma, so one person from every team.
Well, that is the kind of final you like to see. One racer from everybody's team has made it through, or looks as though that's going to be the case, and you just love to see that. All 4 racers, all 4 teams represented in the final. That's a beautiful thing right there. We're going to see everybody getting behind their driver, their marble who's made it all the way to the final.
That is a pretty awesome thing, as Enigma and YY are holding up first. I was just about to give the cameraman some trouble. He figured it out.
Nope, there's Karma Jolt. I was wondering where he was, if he had maybe rung out, but he has not. Haven't seen Falcon Fan in a while. I hope he's okay back there. And there he is. He's just a little bit behind. But there is plenty of opportunity to catch up, as we very well know this red turtle shell can be very treacherous.
I also want to say thank you, cameraman. That was quite well.
That was very well timed. Very, very well timed. YY taking a lead. Saying, hey, I may not be able to make it to the final, but I still want to win.
Showing that great team spirit, as yet again, for every first place, you get your team 1 point.
Exactly. They still want to bring home their team points. They still want to bring home at least that little bit of glory for winning. So, of course, they're giving it their all out here, just like all the racers every race.
YY jumps over. Nice move.
Makes that beautiful jump over the fan, but fails to capitalize on it by taking the slower path. However, they did negotiate that slower path quite beautifully.
As Karma Jolt and Enigma are both shooting right behind YY's heels.
Especially Karma Jolt, who took the quicker path there, and that's going to allow him to catch up quite a little bit.
As they've seen there.
Yeah, he has moved himself into second. As I said, he took that shorter route, and that caused him to catch up quite a bit. However, YY leading the race and has been for quite a bit of it at this point.
Little bounce, little bounce.
Moving quite slowly through the hallway there. That could have been done faster. They lost a lot of momentum there, and I think that might hurt them later on.
As you see an Enigma about to show YY how it's done. But that doesn't matter, as YY, slowly moving his way through the gears here.
Like I said about that loss of momentum, it cost them later on, and sure enough it did.
Whoa, and Enigma and Karma Jolt now fighting for first. Falcon Fan seems to have stalled out.
You hate to see that, but that looks like the case, and Falcon Fan looks like that's going to end his race month right there.
You do hate to see that. At least they managed to get on at least the scoreboard. Get some points. As YY is going around and around and around the water dish.
Everybody's down in the dish now. We're going to see who can manage to get down the hole fastest. Karma Jolt getting knocked there. YY taking the short path and getting down the hole first. That is looking very, very good for them.
Looks like it's going to pay out here. Bringing a couple points home, possibly. Or a point home, possibly, for Team Karma Jolt. At this point in time, no matter what, Team Karma Jolt is getting a point, but who is bringing the point is the question.
That is the question. And also, who's going to win? Which one of these racers are going to be representing Team Karma Jolt in the final? Really, it comes down to who can finish in a higher spot between Karma Jolt and any Enigma.
Is Karma going to lead his own team? It looks like it's going to be that way.
A savvy pass right at the end with a little slick maneuver. And it looks like Karma Jolt, that is it. Karma Jolt has won the race and taken the final spot in the finals.
As you see there, and Enigma still stalled out. And it looks like YY is trying everything in their power to move forward. Everyone has stalled.
YY looks like they will manage to finish the race, but none of this matters, and it is all academic at this point, because Karma Jolt has carried the day, won this round of the semifinals, and is going off to the final. Make sure you come on back tomorrow to see that.
That is correct. So, currently our finalists are Biscuit, ASEM, Mr. Smith, and now Karma Jolt. Our current point totals are for Team Karma Jolt, 14, Team Wipe, 10, Ojo Dojo, 21, and us at the side order have 22.
It's shaping up to be a very, very interesting Creators Cup at the end of the year. I can't wait.
Don't forget to tune in tomorrow as we are going to find out who is going to walk away with that $150 Canadian. I'd also like to recommend to everybody, try out Swift, check out swift.gg, use our promo code SIDEORDER25 and save 25% off the whole store wide. The flavors are amazing and you're supporting creators like us.
That's right, it's an amazing deal and an amazing drink. Go ahead and get yourself a little over at swift.gg. Remember, that's promo code SIDEORDER25, capital S, capital O, to get 25% off on the whole store.
Thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget to check in every day because you never know what we're going to play. I've been Glyph Fracker.
I have been Odinson. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to come on back tomorrow for the final. Also, don't forget to check out our Discord. Link to that is in the description below, as is a link to our merch shop, also in the description below.
With all that being said, do you guys like the races? Are you a creator? Then maybe you would like a chance to get your month or your community a team for next month's marble race. We will happily allow this for you to sponsor a whole team or half of one. Just contact us at our official Discord or reach out to us via email at thesideorder@hotmail.com. Don't be slow, get your team ready to go.
With that, that's the end of the day. As I said, I have been Odinson. We will see you tomorrow. Thank you for joining us.
And with all that, have a good one all.
Bye all.